Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Len Gobeil. Last night, the Barnstable Town Council met in what could be called another contentious meeting. The issue, of course, was the release of John Klim as our town manager and the possible appointment of someone else to replace him. The question about how much is this entire package going to cost the town for John Klim's release came about. Our town accountant gave the following presentation, and that was followed by a question from Councilor Rick Barry and then a statement by Councilor Crocker from Osterville.
And at his current rate of pay, which is $2,904.61 a week, at 10.8, that period covers 10.8 weeks, that's about $31,370. The next period, it covers from the period of December 16th through March 31st, 2013, and our reading of the agreement states that he will be compensated at his current weekly rate for that period of 67.6 weeks, and the total of that cost comes to $84,234. Oh, I'm sorry, $196,352. $84,000 of it falls in fiscal year 2012, and $112,000 of it will fall in fiscal year 2013. Section 5 of the agreement states that the town shall offer insurance benefits through and including March 31st, 2013. The current insurance benefits received by the town manager include disability insurance, an annual premium for disability insurance, as well as health insurance for a family plan. The annual disability insurance premium is assumed at $5,100 a year, which is what approximately what it's been for the past few years. So that's $5,100 in fiscal year 12 and $5,100 in fiscal year 13 for a total of $10,200. The health insurance covers a period of 18 months from October 1st, 2011 through March 31st, 2013. The cost of health insurance, assuming the 50% match that the town will pay, amounts to a total of almost $18,000, $8,933 in fiscal year 12, and $9,826 in fiscal year 13. As one councilor previously stated, the town manager has 620 hours of unused vacation time. It is assumed he will be paid his unused vacation time in accordance with federal and state law, and the accrued vacation time for 620 hours comes to $45,751 in fiscal year 12. The agreement also states that the town manager will effectively, for employment purposes, be on the payroll through December 15th, 2011. His anniversary date is December 1st, and on your anniversary date, under his contract, he's eligible for a longevity payment. And his longevity payment on December 1st is equal to 0.75% of his annual salary, or $1,133 in fiscal year 12. Assuming the town manager decides to retire, he would be eligible under his contract for a sick leave buyback provision, which is equivalent to $35 a day for every unused sick day. His assumed maximum sick leave buyback, therefore, would be approximately 142 days he has right now. At $35 a day would be $4,970. We have to pay Medicare tax on all of his taxable earnings. The total Medicare tax in fiscal year 12 would be $2,299, and in 13 it would be $1,496 for a total of $3,795. Also in the agreement, the town manager is allowed to file for unemployment. Assuming the worst case scenario, he's on unemployment, the maximum potential liability for him, if he were to be on unemployment, is $625 a week for 56 weeks. That's approximately $17,500 that we would have to pay in fiscal year 12 and $17,500 in fiscal year 13. So the maximum, adding all that up, the maximum assumed total cost of the severance package is a total of $347,330. $201,290 would fall in fiscal year 12, and $146,040 would fall under fiscal year 13.
Council Jocham?
And that doesn't include the cost of a search, the cost of paying for an interim, and the cost of a new town manager, regardless of whether or not we have a new town manager. We're going to be paying that cost. And it seems to me that, again, there was little planning. You know, with all due respect, we have a bank president who was in charge of a commercial lending and somebody who does contract negotiations with the with COMM. Some of these costs are built in, and anybody who's had employees knows. And I really don't think that any planning was done, and that these figures we've been giving out are misleading.
Has there been any discussion where that $350,000 is going to come from?
There has, not that I know of. Councilor Crocker?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. A few items that probably need to be clarified. I thank Councilor Rugo, who also served, even though he wasn't on COMM or wasn't a bank president, also served on the committee, and for pointing out what Town Manager Clem was due regardless of when he went. I also think to take the assumption that he's going to draw unemployment to the tune of $35,000 also inflates the number. I also think that we need to talk about a time frame when Manager Clem came in, and he came in early when Tinsley was here, and they had an 8-month overlap, and there's an understanding that he not hire a assistant until the budget could withstand it. I also think that in 212, all the money that was described, showing a clear break between 212 and 213, answers the councilor from Katuitt's issue about where the money is. The 212 money is already budgeted, and we already have that available to us. I also think what's unfair is that there seems to be a group of councilors right now who are comfortable to shoot at the group of councilors who are running for office when they're not. And that, to me, is where we start to cross the line and makes it a little more difficult. When you look at what we have is 2 attempts to have an investigation that possibly would have cured the problem. And everyone who voted against the investigation is as responsible, in my opinion, for the money due now as everyone who didn't. The investigation under oath, which is a part of our charter, could have cleared this whole issue up before it got to some boiling point that it became. So that's just my opinion, no one else's. But for everyone who didn't vote for it, to look at the people who voted for it and know they didn't vote for the investigation, you got to take some responsibility for not having a chance to show transparency and clear the air. Secondly, there were 3 attempts to take back or to reconsider the offer, and 3 times it was not put on the agenda. So there were perhaps another vote coming that would have changed all this, and that never happened either. But now that it's happened, it is what it is. We have to manage our money, we have to show leadership, and we have to get through the process. And I, for one, am ready to advance the ball, heal, and do what's in the best interest of our friends, family, and neighbors here in Barnstable. Thank you.
A vote was proposed that Tom Lynch, the current assistant town manager, be named as acting town manager starting October 1st with a conclusion date of December 15th. That vote was 11-0 in favor of Mr. Lynch becoming the acting town manager. 2 of the councilors, Councilor Crocker and Councilor Monifo, walked out of the room prior to that vote. So Mr. Tom Lynch will be our acting town manager during the absence of John Klim. There are no meetings scheduled for tonight. For Barnstable Today, I'm Len Gobeil.